We welcome you to Los Angeles for one last tune-up before the start of the college basketball season. Tonight inside Pauley Pavilion, we are gearing up for Halloween as number 12 UCLA welcomes in UC Irvine. Hello, folks. Nick Cope and Gio Camara on hand. Great to have you with us. Well, the trend these days in college basketball is to play some quality opponents for these exhibitions. That's just what we have tonight.
Exactly right, Nick. UC Irvine going against Arizona State in their first preseason game, and UCLA going against San Diego State in their first preseason game. Those are two quality opponents that can really show what your program needs to improve going into this regular season.
And UC Irvine, one of those teams that can expose your weaknesses. They've been the class of the Big West over the last decade.
Yeah, despite being the class, they have lost 70% of their scoring, but they are still favored to win the Big West.
Among the key returners is Jurian Dixon, the 2025 Big West Freshman of the Year.
With all their losses on offense, Jurian Dixon's going to have to step up and be the X factor for the Anteaters.
UCLA entering year 2 in the Big Ten. Last year, a 4th place finish in the conference and a berth in the second round of the NCAA tournament.
I'm sure Coach Cronin wanted to end the season at a much better pace, but they have a star-studded transfer class that's going to help them succeed this year.
And the anticipation is sky high for one of those newcomers. Donovan Dent returns to SoCal after an All-American season at New Mexico.
Donovan Dent may be the best point guard that Mick Cronin has ever coached. The preseason All-American is looking to carry his success from last season into the Bruins.
See, Jamar Brown will get the start again for UCLA. He went in the first exhibition game down at San Diego State. And Darren Saran, how about 27 points in that game against ASU?
Darren Saran could be a real difference maker for UC Irvine. He transfers from UCI, then he transferred to Stanford, and now back to UCI. So if he has any sort of talent as he did in the beginning of his career, it's going to be really good for the Anteaters.
6 days and still the start of the 2025-26 college basketball season. These teams have met 11 times before. UCLA has won 9 of them. Michael Reed, Kevin Brill, Earl Walton are officials. Xavier Booker wins the jump against Kyle Evans. UCLA basketball to begin this final exhibition game. Donovan Dent at the controls. Back and forth with Tyler Bilodeau. UCLA jumped down to a 17-0 lead 11 days ago against San Diego State down at Viejas Arena. Here's Booker for 3. In and out, and the rebound flying in is Kyle Evans. UC Irvine, a 4-point win against Arizona State in their exhibition. Trailed by as many as a dozen in the first half. And a strong second half got them the W. Now trying to beat another power conference opponent, but a turnover. Tama Isaac trying to find Saran along the baseline, and it's UCLA basketball.
UCLA does that extremely well. They love to get their hands in the passing lanes, and they love to cause deflections, and those deflections usually lead to something good for your team.
Against San Diego State, 13 steals and 21 forced turnovers for UCLA on the defensive end. Sky Clark, second year with UCLA, deferring to Booker, and the Michigan State transfer is short on another jumper. Offensive rebound for Bilodeau, and a fresh 20 for UCLA. Dent picked up by Isaac. The driving kick. Sky Clark stepped on the sideline. That basket does not count. And we are still scoreless, 73 seconds in. So teams trading turnovers. And UC Irvine basketball, 32-7 a year ago. Just came up short in the Big West against UC San Diego. And an offensive foul, moving screen against Kyle Evans.
Yeah, UC Irvine, they struggled at the end of this season last year, especially Jurian Dixon. He's going to need to be the guy who steps up for this team.
Russell Turner, the winningest coach in UC Irvine history. And how about this consistency? The Anteaters have finished first or second in the Big West in 11 of his 15 seasons.
That's the definition of greatness right there. Just an all-around great coach.
And a technical foul has just been given to Russ Turner. Don't tell him it's an exhibition.
Maybe I spoke a little too soon. Maybe he's a little angry today.
Talking with Earl Walton there on the sideline as Donovan Dent will shoot the free throws. And he's got the first point of the evening. 2-0 UCLA lead, and it will be Bruins basketball. Dent in that exhibition game against San Diego State had 18 points. He was a perfect 10 for 10 from the foul line. And Turner, who's about to sit down, now having a conversation with Kevin Brill.
He's still angry.
All stemming from the moving screen call that went against Kyle Evans. Now Dent sees the hoop and drops it in. 4 points for Donovan Dent here in the early going. He was not efficient from the floor against the Aztecs, just 4 for 16.
He did shoot 7 of 8 from the line, though, so he's showing that he can still get to the basket and still draw fouls like all the great players do.
That's a third UC Irvine turnover, and Dent to Clark, lays it up and in. And there's what UCLA fans are looking forward to seeing this year with Donovan Dent and a chance to push the pace.
Coach Cronin said that backcourt might be the best in the country. We'll see if that continues throughout the year.
Dish underneath, blow by, and UC Irvine has its first points. Elijah Chol, little shot fake and finish to get the Anteaters on the board.
Yeah, Elijah Chol, he's a 7-footer for this UC Irvine team. Can bring a lot of size in the paint going forward.
Last year, 29 games played, 20 blocks. Didn't feature in the first exhibition game for UCI. Step back three, Sky Clark around and out. Offensive rebound, Booker. Some contact on the putback, and it's UC Irvine basketball. Isaac fouled from behind. Clark trying to get his hand in the cookie jar.
And here's the UCLA fast break. Jamar Brown, what a beautiful pass to get it going. And of course, Sky Clark, the beautiful layup on the other end.
So Dent with 4 points and that assist. Meanwhile, the first free throw is down for Tama Isaac out of Christchurch, New Zealand. True freshman. He's going to play a lot this year for UCI.
And he's the all-second team in the FIBA U19 World Cup. So he definitely has some talent. Let's see if he can bring it for this UC Irvine squad.
And he's played for several different junior tall blacks teams. That's what they call the junior national teams in New Zealand. He's played from the U17 up to the U19, even some looks with the senior national team as well. Sky Clark defers to Booker, looking to get free in the post, and with the right hand, he finishes. That's what UCLA wants to see out of Xavier Booker. He's playing in that 5 role for the first time in his career, and a nice post move inside.
Exactly. He's almost the replacement for Adai Mara, who transferred to Michigan over the summer for UCLA. If he can be anything towards what Adai Mara was, that would be some great stuff for UCLA basketball.
Sky Clark with the teardrop, and it's a 10-4 UCLA lead. Here's Chol for 3. He's got it. Elijah Chol did not make a three-pointer all of last season. He only attempted one of them, but he's made it a one-possession game.
That'd be excellent if he can add that to his repertoire.
Dent dishes for Booker, but can't handle it. Now it's a 2-on-1, but a high dribble there from Dixon has to slow it up. And Isaac whips it underneath. Evans is free for the two-hand flush.
That was a fantastic cut into a fantastic pass from the top of the key. Great ball movement from the Anteaters.
5 quick points from UC Irvine to make it a 1-point ball game. Dent probing and knocks it down in the lane. 6 points for Donovan Dent. Both teams shooting well here at the start. Evans the handoff. Saran for 3. Rolls it in. And there is Darren Saran. Spent his freshman year with UC Irvine. Transferred to Stanford. An injury-plagued season with the Cardinal. And now he's back with the Anteaters.
He's got to be feeling it after that preseason game that he had just a couple days ago.
All tied up, but only for a moment as Donovan Dent gets himself in the lane again. That is easy money.
Yeah, he did that a lot last season. I expect a lot more of that here.
And Dent trying to get up in on Isaac and picks up the foul. Takes us to a timeout on the floor, but it's been the Donovan Dent show early on. He's got 8 of UCLA's 14 and a 2-point lead for the Bruins. UCLA with the early lead on home court in this final exhibition game. Jamar Brown, one of 5 transfers that UCLA brought in this past offseason. Of course, you know Donovan Dent, the All-American year last year with New Mexico, but Brown and Booker especially also going to be big factors in the rotation this year for UCLA.
Yeah, Jamar Brown has elite level shooting out of Kansas City. A team that generally struggles from the three-point line, UCLA. If they can get that same level of shooting from Jamar Brown, it would be fantastic for this Bruins program.
Now, Mick Cronin thinks three-point shooting is going to be a strength for this team this year. When you factor in Booker, who has played beyond the three-point line as well, they have the ability to have a shooter at all 5 positions on the court at the same time.
The pick and pop game could be very strong with Donovan Dent and Xavier Booker. They just have to kind of refine it throughout the year. And if they're able to do that, it's going to be pretty unstoppable going into the later half of the season.
No changes for UCLA out of the timeout. As Sky Clark picks up Darren Saran, a 2-point lead for UCLA. Harrison Carrington checking in for UC Irvine. And a loose dribble there. Joshua Palmer lost the handle. And a foul is called against UCLA. That's going to be Jamar Brown. Mick Cronin back in Pauley Pavilion for the first time this season. Up to 503 career wins.
Mick Cronin, such an elite coach. He really is perfect for this Bruins program. That's kind of a blue blood of the West, some people would say.
UCLA 15-2 in this building last season. The only losses coming against Michigan and Minnesota. Akiva McBurney-Griffin also in for UC Irvine, picks up his dribble. Jovan Jester Jr. also checking in. Saran, the only original starter remaining here for UC Irvine. They will go 10 to 12 deep. 2 on the timer. McBurney-Griffin doesn't see it. It's a shot clock violation. And already a 4th turnover against UC Irvine.
That's a top-notch defense from the Bruins. This is something they love to do, and throughout the season, we will be seeing plenty more of these type of defensive possessions from them.
UCLA led the Big Ten in turnover margin a year ago. Brandon Williams in for the Bruins. Dent, the drive and kick, and there is Williams. Just off the mark from deep, and the rebound in traffic for Carrington, and another loose ball foul against UCLA, and that'll be the 2nd against Sky Clark. So UCLA did not get Trent Perry to the scorers table in time, so Clark will remain in there with 2 fouls. UC Irvine looking to tie or take the lead. Serrani using the screen, finds McBurney Griffin, charged free by Dent. And now it's Brown in transition. Sky Clark drives inside and drops it in from 10 feet. Half a dozen for Sky Clark.
Despite the 2 fouls, I hope Sky Clark can still continue to play with that intensity that we're used to seeing from him.
This UCLA backcourt of Dent and Clark expected to lead the way this year, and that's what they're doing tonight as McBurney Griffin off the mark. Clark and Dent with 14 of the team's 16. Booker's got the other 2, and he's got the ball. Back out for Dent. Williams, still 15 to shoot. Dent levitating, left it short. Williams the offensive board. Clark open. Too strong for the triple. Booker fighting and is fouled. UCLA wants rebounding out of this 5-position physicality out of Xavier Booker. And right there showing what Mick Cronin wants to see.
Exactly. They really struggled with that in their game against San Diego State. Although they did win, they struggled in the rebounding department from that 5 position. Like we said earlier, something Mara really had last year. So if Booker and Jamison can be those guys for them, it can go really well in the rebounding department for the Bruins.
Mick Cronin said they need 12 rebounds out of the center spot between Booker and Steven Jamerson, who we haven't seen yet. They combined for just 7 in the game against San Diego State. And Booker goes 2 for 2. And there is Jamerson checking in right on cue. Trent Perry also in for Sky Clark. So a few of the reserves now on for UCLA. Tama Isaac back in for UC Irvine. Jester working with Carrington. Carrington spinning in the lane. Left it short. Brandon Williams right there. 5-point lead for UCLA. And here's Jamerson, a couple of dribbles. The San Diego transfer to Trent Perry. Whipped around for Dent. It's picked up there by Isaac. UCLA on a 6-0 run. And an offensive foul against Jamerson. A little bit of a moving screen there, trying to free up Donovan Dent.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. You have to set your feet and you got to stay still, or else they're going to call that every single time.
Well, we've seen that go against both teams. Now UC Irvine looking for their first points in over 3 minutes. Isaac all the way into the lane. Couldn't get it to fall. The tip-in did not go. That was Ness Emenike inside. And now a blocking foul against Isaac. And that is what Dent can do. Even in a moment where it doesn't look like anything is there, he draws a foul.
It's extremely hard to guard Donovan Dent when he has full speed towards the basket. I mean, it is really, truly next level play from him.
Dent last year became the first player since Ja Morant in 2019 to have 600 points and 200 assists in the same season. Dent just floating away, living in the mid-range. 2 more for Dent. He's already in double figures.
He really is a fantastic player. It's such a blessing for him to be a Bruin, and it would be truly great late in the season if he continues this level of play.
Carrington steps in, got Dent to fly by. Now here's Luke Isaac. Jurian Dixon in the middle of 3 is fouled. That'll go against Trent Perry. No more fouls to give for UCLA in this first half. But the Bruins on an 8-0 run, and they've got the 8-point lead. UC Irvine coming off one of the best seasons in program history, 32 wins, runners-up in the NIT, but they have a lot to replace from that squad from last season. Their top 4 scores, which accounted for 53 points per game. Pone, Loyston, Tillis moving on. Tillis going across the way to Virginia. Miles Che, a very talented guard, transferring to UNLV. That's what UC Irvine is accustomed to. They reload. They've got players who have redshirted and been in the program, bring them along, and they're still expected to be at the top of the Big West despite those losses.
Exactly. It's really those additions who have to play well. Isaac for UC Irvine, he's a guy that needs to come in as a freshman and just continue to work and be better, because they are really going to need him down the stretch. Guys like Saran, who have been with the program before. He knows how it's like to be an anteater, and that should be very huge for them, all the guys they've lost.
Russell Turner has taken them to 3 straight NITs. They have not been to the NCAA since 2019, despite all that consistent success. In the lane, Carrington off the heel, gets his own miss, and cycles it back out. Jurian Dixon defers. Jester's 3, well too strong. Bilodeau with the weak side rebound. Dent already with 10. Count it, plus the foul. Chance for a baker's dozen coming up for Donovan Dent in these first 9 minutes.
What an excellent drive by Donovan Dent. I know we've seen that time and time again, but the way he just stops and goes on the defender and is able to put him in a bad position to defend him. You can't really stop that if you think he's going one way and he's going to go the next way. It's just an excellent job by Donovan Dent.
Second foul against Kyle Evans. Dent stays perfect at the line as well. The run now up to 11-0 for UCLA over the last 4 minutes. And something to note here too, UCLA has attempted nearly twice as many shots as UC Irvine so far.
Name of the game, possessions. If you can get more possessions than the other team, your chances of winning go up and up and up.
UC Irvine going to get itself to the foul line here as Steven Jamerson picks up his second foul. That's been the only blemish here for UCLA. Jamerson and Sky Clark with 2 fouls apiece.
Yeah, it's going to be a chance to see some other guys maybe step into those roles, especially since it's a preseason game like we see right now coming out of the scorers table.
So a short stint for Jamerson. That'll force Booker back into the game. And a 1-and-1 opportunity for Jovan Jester Jr., a redshirt freshman out of Pasadena High School. And earns himself 1 more. Jester going to be a factor this year for UC Irvine after the redshirt season. Get a little bit of everything in their first exhibition game. 5 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a couple of steals as well. And a little bit of blood for Bryce Goldman, I think. Just to get checked out here. Kimberly Christensen providing the aid and icing teammate Jovan Jester Jr. at the line. So Goldman checks out, and it's a 1-for-2 trip as Bilodeau just taps that one away from Carrington. So UC Irvine stops the bleeding. And a foul going against Jester. No more fouls to give in the first half for UC Irvine now. Dent to inbound for Bilodeau, and he's got his first points.
That was a beautiful out-of-bounds play from the Bruins. Just something that a lot of teams at the next level do extremely well, and you see Coach Cronin, a next-level coach, so of course he's going to do those things extremely well as well.
And at the other end, Bilodeau does just enough to affect the shot of Jurian Dixon. Dent going to work, kicks to Bilodeau. The corner 3 is good. 5 quick points for Tyler Bilodeau, and a timeout called by UC Irvine. Bilodeau, UCLA's leading scorer from last season, and also their top 3-point shooter at 40%.
take a look at Tyler Bilodeau here. He can really score from all 3 levels. It's something that people at the next level, the players at the next level can really do well. Think of the best players in the NBA, Kevin Durant. Those are guys who can score inside, in the mid-range, and at the 3-point line. So if he continues to do that, his career projection will go extremely high.
Well, it's going to be interesting to watch him this season because last year, first year in the program, coming over from Oregon State, UCLA asked him to play at the 5 a lot. Was oftentimes matched up with guys that were a little bit bigger than him. Now with Xavier Booker, Steven Jamerson, Bilodeau going to be able to play at the 4 this season.
He can kind of take a backseat role in terms of the defensive side, because at the 5 you're playing a lot more defensive orientated. You have a 7-footer usually you're guarding, and it's going to take a lot of breath out of you. So if you get to play the 4 and can kind of focus more on your offensive ability, that could be really huge for this season for UCLA.
Bruins now set to play defense. UC Irvine looking for their first bucket in over 5 minutes. UCLA on a 16-1 run since this game was tied at 12. Dixon trying to get going, has some space. And a loose ball foul against Bilodeau. Say he pushed Akiva McBurney Griffin in the back. He can't believe it.
I don't know if I necessarily agree if you push him in the back or not, but usually in those situations, if you're the guy on the outside, it's really hard to get the rebound. So maybe there's some illegal contact going on there.
1-1 for McBurney Griffin, a redshirt junior and a New Zealand native. 5th year in the program, and he'll get one more.
So here we take one more look at it. Could go either way, but I can see what the refs were looking at, and it could have been a good call.
The free throws helping UC Irvine hang in there here because they have got nothing going in the half court. McBurney Griffin, who was injured all of last season, knocks them both down. Eric Freeney in for UCLA. He's in that far corner, but it's Trent Perry. And gets bumped by Saran. 1-1 coming for the sophomore.
And Trent Perry, he is somebody that the Bruins might rely upon to be their 6th man this season. He really needs to take that step up. Last year was a little hard because he was a true freshman, but this year is a chance for him to really cement himself in the offense.
He said it was an adjustment coming in out of that high-flying program, Harvard-Westlake. He was only playing 11 minutes per game last season, and that was tough for him to get used to. We anticipate Trent Perry playing 25+ minutes per game coming off the bench.
And they're going to need Trent Perry to play 25+ minutes because you have to give a rest to Dent and Clark. So if he has the ability to match what they're doing on offense, it could be a really successful year for him.
First points for Trent Perry. UCLA is perfect from the foul line in this one, 7 for 7. Wall shooting 58% from the floor. Matching their largest lead at the moment. Whipped inside. Evans pocket pick from behind. It's Perry. Bilodeau. Patient. Booker. Spins. Falls. Hits. Xavier Booker from Michigan State. 2 seasons in East Lansing, playing for Tom Izzo. And now playing for Mick Cronin. Corner 3, knocked down. Darren Saran. Grew up in Istanbul, Turkey. And he's got a second 3-pointer.
Yeah, Saran really needs to be a difference maker. If he can get hot, just like he did against Arizona State, they have a chance to come back in this game.
That was the first make from the floor in about 8 minutes for UC Irvine. Bad miss there from Booker. And Saran looking to push. Dixon probing Perry. The follow away at the mid-post gets the friendly bounce. And the first points for last year's Big West Freshman of the Year, Jurian Dixon.
Yeah, we need to see a lot more of that from him, especially with all the losses they had.
Anteaters finding their offense again as Perry, tough shot. And off the baseline, it'll go to UC Irvine. That drive well defended. And UC Irvine, a team that prides itself on its defense.
Very similar to Mick Cronin and his defensive philosophy. Both these teams love to get their hands in the passing lanes. They love to get up on you, and they want to force you to make mistakes. And that's really what both teams are trying to get at in this game specifically as well.
Last year, UC Irvine had the 10th best defensive field goal percentage in the entire country. Dixon, double team, 8 on the timer. Saran with the shot fake, spinning, rising. And off the front of the rim, the rebound for Booker. Saran got a hand in there. Finds McBurney Griffin, nearly traveled. McBurney Griffin with the size advantage draws a foul. That'll go against Freeney and take us to a timeout on the floor. Point lead for UCLA here in the first half. And the backcourt of Sky Clark and Donovan Dent. Mick Cronin says arguably one of the best in the country. They have combined for 19 of UCLA's 32.
Yeah, we're going to take a look here at how well they've been playing. Just some exceptional fast break buckets and just exceptional play all around. They're getting their, not only are they passing to each other, but they're also getting their hands in the passing lanes on defense. They're just playing all around great basketball. And if you see Dent here just taking it all the way for the and one, that is elite level scoring, and that's scoring that's going to get you to the next level.
13 points, 3 assists for Donovan Dent. 6 points and 1 assist for Sky Clark, who hasn't been able to play that much because of 2 early fouls. Dent has been out there the entire time, and he has been as advertised.
Yeah, as you see here, 13 points and 3 assists. And we have still 8 minutes left to play in this first half. So his per 36 numbers are looking really good right now. And if he continues to play like this, the Bruins have a really good chance of winning this game.
Last year averaged 20 points and 6 assists per game. He was the only player in the nation that could say that. Free throws for Akiva McBurney Griffin out of the timeout. He's already knocked down a pair so far. UCLA had a lead as large as 17 moments ago, and now UC Irvine countering. Little 6-0 run here with a free throw pending.
McBurney is a longtime Anteater. He is a junior, but he's been with the program for 3 years now. So he's one of those guys who have to step up and be the new leader of this team with all their losses from last season.
He's been injured. He's only played in 1 game since the 22-23 season. He'll be in the mix for sure this year as Booker drills the triple. He's a 6'11" big man who can shoot it from the outside, and he's got his first 3 of the evening.
Not long ago, he was a 5-star prospect coming out of high school. And even though he's kind of struggled a little bit in his 2 years at Michigan State, hopefully he can find some resurgence at his new home with the Bruins.
Able to impact that drive from Saran, and he's got the rebound. Solid start for Booker, 9 points, and now 5 rebounds with that latest. And a lazy pass from Dent. Saran takes it away. Dixon in transition, crawls up and in. Dent rises. Freeney the offensive board. Those two former high school teammates, Freeney and Dent, at Centennial and Corona. Another UCLA turnover. Booker loose with the handle. Once again, Dixon in transition. Cannot finish. And Bilodeau wins the rebound. Dent doing just enough to prevent another fast break bucket as Freeney rattles home the triple.
I was going to say Mick Cronin probably did not like those last 2 offensive possessions for the Bruins, but that is something he really likes, getting a fast break, wide open 3-point shot.
Freeney, a redshirt season last year as a true freshman. Now a hand check foul on Trent Perry. That's his second. And that'll be 2 free throws.
As we take a look, Bilodeau throwing it out right to Freeney. I mean, that's just perfect basketball. Nobody's guarding him off the fast break. That's something you love to see from UCLA, and hopefully you can continue seeing that throughout the season.
Easy money for Eric Freeney. And there's the first missed free throw for Saran. 6 points for the point guard, all coming from beyond the arc. Very good freshman season with UC Irvine. Averaged 10 points, 3 rebounds per game. And with the way UC Irvine redshirts so many players, if you can come in and contribute like that as a true freshman, you've got special talent.
Yeah, unfortunately, he decided to transfer out of the Irvine program to Stanford. But maybe he had a change of heart, and he came back this year, and you can see what he's doing now, having extreme talent for this UC Irvine team.
And UC Irvine is playing without Andre Henry tonight. Injured most of last season. That's another key part of their backcourt as Brandon Williams nearly got it to go. Second effort is good. Brandon Williams, a redshirt sophomore. 7 offensive boards in the first half for UCLA. Step back 3, Saran. Well short. And another loose ball foul against UCLA. This time it's Freeney, his second. That is 11 fouls against UCLA in this first half, and a lot of them have come attacking the defensive glass.
Yeah, that is very poor basketball for the Bruins. They have to continue to rebound the ball, but do it without fouling, because it's almost as worse if you're not getting the rebound at all. So they really have to they're really struggling in that department, but they're going to have to learn how to rebound without fouling.
This is freshman Mason Hodges at the line, out of San Juan Capistrano and San Juan Hills High School. UC Irvine was Hodges' only Division I offer. Goes 0 for 2 at the line, and Brown pulls away the rebound. Dent inside, and a foul. This against Elijah Chol. And more free throws for Donovan Dent. Points now for Dent. He had 18 in the first exhibition game against San Diego State. bringing Dent in, the guys returning. Suddenly UCLA, remember a couple of years ago, all the freshmen they had on this team, the way they've retooled the roster over the last couple of years, this is the most experienced team Mick Cronin has had in a little while. You look at their projected starting lineup, they're going to have 3 seniors and 2 juniors in that starting 5, and then more experience coming off the bench.
2 years ago, it was definitely a different look from this Bruins team. They try to find help from wherever they can get it. Now this team is old. Now it's considered maybe one of the older teams in the Big Ten. So it's just a way for the Bruins to finally recoup what they had the last 2 years.
Dixon sticking his hand in there, and a 1-and-1 for Dent, who just missed the first free throw of the game moments ago for UCLA. UCLA also without a key piece tonight. Eric Daly Jr. not playing. Tweaked his knee earlier this month. They're hopeful to have him back within the next couple of weeks.
He's second leading scorer on the team last season, so he's a very important piece, especially when they go against Oregon, because every time UCLA played against Oregon, he had a very, very good game last season.
Dent has missed back-to-back free throws now, but still a 16-point cushion. Dangerous pass inside, 8 to shoot, and it's turned over. And here's Dent in transition. Jump stop, kick out, Freeney's 3. Off the heel, Brown tips it out for Dent, a fresh 20. Jamar Brown for 3. Well, that possession, that is Jamar Brown's game. Attacking the glass, knocking down the triple.
Jamar Brown is going to love getting offensive rebounds and then going out and shooting a 3 all season for the Bruins.
UC Irvine does not have the answer. Dixon missing the 3. 2-on-3. Dent flips for Brown. Williams over to Dent. He steps inside the line and draws a foul. He got Ben Egbo to leave his feet, and we'll shoot 2 more when we return. All smiles so far for Donovan Dent and UCLA. Jamar Brown, one of the newcomers this year for UCLA, coming in from the University of Missouri, Kansas City. And just had a nice play moments ago. Mick Cronin said he has never seen a shooter like Brown crash the offensive glass so much. Brown showing just that on this sequence moments ago.
That play was Jamar Brown to a T. He gets the offensive tip out and relocates right for a 3. That's something like Steph Curry does. That is something only the next level players really do. And if Jamar Brown can continue to do that all season for the Bruins, he's going to be an elite 3-point shooter, and he's going to play a lot for Mick Cronin.
Not only led Kansas City in scoring last year, he also led them in rebounding each of the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, the 2-time All-Summit League player can continue to produce at the next level. Mick Cronin's going to absolutely love him coming down the stretch.
19-point lead for UCLA in their exhibition opener at San Diego State. Opened the game on a 17-0 run, and earlier in this first half had a 16-1 run to grab control.
Basketball is a game of runs, and if UCLA can master the game of runs, we're in for a treat this season.
So those were the first points for Brown moments ago, and he's got 3 rebounds as well. Meanwhile, a couple of foul shots for Dent. Dent not only so good at creating his own shot, all the attention he draws just inherently frees things up for his teammates. And we've seen from him early on really initiating things. Lately, he's gotten his other teammates involved, though. He's up to 5 assists.
That is what he did at New Mexico last season, having 6 assists a game. But now, arguably, he has even more pieces to work with at UCLA to get him even more assists.
So the lead up to 21. Saran got Dent to leave his feet. Dishes. Carrington inside. Banging bodies. Left it short off the glass. Going for his own miss, but it's out of bounds to UCLA.
That was fantastic offense getting into the lane, but it was just better defense. Guys were in their positions early, guys were in their positions fast, and that's what's going to happen. You're going to create a missed shot, and you get the ball right back.
Carrington in his first year with UC Irvine, transferred in after 3 seasons with Colorado. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Bilodeau. Post entry from Williams. Working against the taller Chol. Falling away. Rolls it in. 7 points now for Tyler Bilodeau. Quiet first half. But the lead now up to 23.
He's had a quiet first half, but it's really been the rest of the starters who have carried the offense, and Tyler Bilodeau just hasn't needed to do as much because everybody else is playing extremely well on top of it.
And a big rejection inside. Eric Freeney rips it away. And now the lob and finish. Bilodeau from Dent.
That is something you love to see out of the Bruins. Just fast break points. Oh, that was just so pretty. That was great.
Carrington, too strong. Bilodeau flying over with the help defense. UCLA doubling up UC Irvine. Bilodeau for 3. You bet.
Scratch everything we just said about Tyler Bilodeau because now he is on fire.
10 points in the blink of an eye from Bilodeau. Excuse me, make it a dozen. And UCLA on a 15-0 run. Carrington swarm. 9 to shoot. Isaac flips for Saran. Jab step. 3 on the timer. Saran, the pull-up. He's got it. Had to have it, and Darren Saran bails out the Anteaters. Their first points in over 4 minutes.
He did that a lot against Arizona State in their first preseason game. If he can do that throughout the season, he can be definitely a crowd quieter in the sense of just ending runs just like that.
9 points for Saran to lead UC Irvine. Into the final minute of the opening half. Bilodeau, after hesitating, rolls in another triple, his 3rd. He's a perfect 6 for 6 from the floor.
Tyler Bilodeau must have been listening to our broadcast.
He's got 15. Dent has 16, leading the way for UCLA. He'll fall away from Jester, too strong. Another rebound for Jamar Brown. Dent around the defense. The reverse, left short. End-to-end action. Tama Isaac throws it away. .21 seconds left on the clock. On a fast pace opening 20 minutes. Dent up to 8 assists to go along with those 16 points.
18-2 run for UCLA over the last 5 minutes and 14 seconds. This is just great basketball that we're seeing for them.
UCLA as a team, 12 assists against 6 turnovers. Dent winding things down. 5 seconds. Bilodeau crashing inside. Left it short, follows it up with the dunk. And that'll do it for the first half. All Bruins here to close it. And Tyler Bilodeau with a surge over the last few minutes. 17 points in the first half for number 34.
Tyler Bilodeau continuing his run from last season of just being an elite 3-level scorer. If we're going to see this throughout the year from him, it's going to be a treat. Here's Donovan Dent getting to the lane. Look at Freeney. Just a great defensive play right there. And here it comes. The man of the last 4 minutes, Tyler Bilodeau, doing it all for UCLA.
Big Ten Plus gives you access to more live games. Your subscription includes exclusive access to Big Ten Network's library of classic games, award-winning original programming, and specially curated digital channels that highlight your favorite Big Ten school 24/7. Explore all Big Ten Plus has to offer on the app or at BigTenPlus.com. It's always game on. Gearing up for the start of the second half here at Pauley Pavilion. Nick Cope and Gio Camara on hand. What stood out to you in those first 20 minutes?
To me, UCLA has not done anything wrong so far. They're scoring efficiently, they're rebounding just like Mick Cronin wants them to, and everybody is playing exceptional team basketball. I think if they continue this throughout the season and obviously into this game, but more throughout the beginning couple games in their schedule, I think they're going to be an extremely good basketball team that will compete at the highest level in the Big Ten.
Couple of big runs in that first half as well as we take a look at the first half highlights. But the Bruins had a 16-1 run early on and then closed the first half on a 20-2 run.
Tyler Bilodeau, a major part of that. He closed the half by himself almost. So you see him there hitting Eric Freeney for the wide open 3. Like I said earlier, they're just playing extremely well together basketball as they're racking up assists. They're not turning the ball over as much, and I'm sure Mick Cronin really appreciates that. And of course, you see there Eric Freeney with a great defensive possession. And if we can just continue to do that, they're going to be an exceptional basketball team.
UCLA shooting 58% in the first half, better than 50% from three-point range as well. And how about plus 17 in the rebound department?
That's what Mick Cronin really wants to stress with these Bruins. If they're able to rebound at the highest level in the Big Ten, they're going to go really far.
UCLA also plus 20 in the paint and had 19 fast break points. That is the Donovan Dent effect right there.
Donovan Dent is such a great scorer when he's coming in from the fast break. It's so hard to stop a guy who's quick, just like a De'Aaron Fox level player. There's somebody you cannot stop when he has a full head of steam.
And UC Irvine, a team last season that was 3rd in the nation in defensive rebounding. Just 9 total boards so far tonight. They have the basketball first. Scholl gets it out up top for Dixon. He had just 4 points in the opening half. Scholl had a runner, and Isaac defers. Dixon steps into the 3. And the offensive rebound for Evans. Dixon working against Brown. Bounce pass into the lane. Evans left it short. The quality pass there from Dixon. Evans could not finish.
It seems like UC Irvine's been doing a lot of really quality basketball possessions of just passing inside, getting in the lane, but they're just not finishing, and that's what's really separated them from UCLA here so far.
Another triple for Jamar Brown. He was a 40% shooter from distance a year ago with Kansas City. Saran draws a foul, and that'll go against Perry, who is starting the second half for Donovan Dent. But Perry just picked up his 3rd foul. Reaching across, trying to help out Sky Clark defensively. Dixon, quick trigger, and short. Saran, the offensive board. Second effort does not go. Steven Jamerson, the defensive rebound. Sky Clark back in there, didn't play much in the first half. Nice crossover, high off the window for 2.
As you said, Sky Clark, he was in foul trouble in the first half, but if he's able to play in the second half, they're going to increase this lead.
It'll stay with UC Irvine. Clark only able to play 8 minutes in the first half because of early fouls.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see him still stepping on the gas and still being able to play aggressive, even though he had those fouls. Sometimes players can get a little too scared of being aggressive because they don't want to get their fourth foul, or third or fourth foul. But here, he's doing a great job of staying within his game and staying persistent.
Tama Isaac is fouled. It'll go against Jamerson. As they're part of a foot size advantage on Isaac. Free throws coming for Tama Isaac as Jamerson gets a word with Mick Cronin. Now, Big West has had many of their teams go to New Zealand, Australia, Hawaii. You'll find a lot of players out of that greater Pacific region in the Big West. Think of Aniwaniwa Tate Jones, who was at UC San Diego a year ago. Everyone got a good look at him in the NCAA tournament.
The Big West is really a farm system for those players from that region.
Clark defers to the corner, and Jamar Brown comes up a little bit short, tapped out by Jamerson, right to Dixon. Brown trying to pick his pocket, and it's a reach-in foul. Already a third foul called against UCLA, and the second against Jamar Brown. Now, Brown grew up in Chandler, Arizona. Went to Phoenix College, where he was a JUCO All-American as a sophomore. Got his D1 shot at Missouri, Kansas City, and now a fifth-year player with UCLA. Tough spot to inbound for Saran, but he does find help in Evans. Plenty of time on the shot clock here for UC Irvine. Carrington, tough time handling that low pass, flips it into Evans off the window.
What a remarkable pass inside. If they're continuing to do that, that's going to be really good for the future for Anteaters.
Evans in his second year with UC Irvine after he spent a couple of seasons at Colorado State. 4 points for him. He battled foul trouble in the first half as Trent Perry answers with the deep two.
That's too easy for Trent Perry. Just a little pick and roll action. And the wing, it's really easy if you get it that close with no defender around you.
Perry adding a little bit of size in the offseason. Said he added 10 pounds as Jamar Brown has the steal and another forced turnover by this UCLA defense. Clark the cut, picked up by the taller Evans. Now resets, and a little kiss off the glass. Sky Clark in double figures with 10.
The UCLA guards just continue to put on a masterclass of how to play in the Mick Cronin system.
Between Clark and Dent, high-level finishing at the rim. And a loose dribble right into the midst of Clark. 3-on-0, defers to Bilodeau.
That is beautiful basketball. They are playing at a very, very high level right now.
14 assists now for UCLA tonight. And another turnover against UC Irvine. That's their third here in the early going of the second half.
11 turnovers total this game. Mick Cronin must be very happy with how UCLA has been able to get their hands in the passing lane so often so far.
6 steals for UCLA in this one after they had 13 in their first exhibition game. And how about that for Brandon Williams off the inbound? Count it, plus the foul.
They are hitting at every level right now, the Bruins. This is just really great to watch. Yeah, just caught the defense by surprise. I mean, they were just quicker. UC Irvine couldn't react fast enough, and you're just going to get easy layups every time.
Williams kind of playing the dummy there. He wasn't even looking at the rim. He was just looking down, and then all of a sudden, bam, there he went.
That could have been part of the strategy.
No doubt about it as he converts the three-point play. 5 points for number 5. He's got a chance to be part of the rotation this year. Played a lot as a freshman. Started 14 games. Redshirted last year as Trent Perry picks up his 4th foul. So Perry will check off. Jamar Brown right back in. Flipped around for Dixon. 7 on the timer. Dixon is fouled. Little hesitation and got the contact from Booker. All UCLA tonight. They have been running in transition. And moments ago, Sky Clark off to Tyler Bilodeau. 41-point lead for UCLA. Basketball back at Pauley Pavilion tonight. Just 6 days to go until the season opener. Only 3 days till Halloween, and the students having a great time. UCLA picked 3rd in the Big Ten preseason poll behind Purdue and Michigan, just ahead of Illinois, Oregon, and Michigan State. No surprise, Purdue, the preseason #1 team in the nation, is the preseason favorite in the Big Ten. And as far as that preseason All-Big Ten team, no surprise to see Donovan Dent on it for UCLA.
Yeah, of course, Donovan Dent, such an elite player. Then you have Braden Smith out of Purdue, who might be the best point guard in the Big Ten, better than Dent. So we're going to see if those guys are going to have a great battle for who can be the top dog in the Big Ten this season.
Purdue will be coming to Pauley Pavilion this season after UCLA was in West Lafayette last year. Dent getting a breather after he played the entire first half. 16 points and 8 assists. Eric Daly to his right, not playing tonight for UCLA. Hopeful to have him back within the next couple of weeks. UCLA a 14-4 start here in the second half, and the lead has swelled as Jurian Dixon is at the foul line for UC Irvine. San Diego native took over Andre Henry's starting spot last year once Henry went down with a season-ending injury. Now once Henry can come back here in the early part of the season. They'll get to play alongside each other.
Yeah, Andre Henry's such an important piece for this Anteaters team. He just brings that defensive effort that in this game they've kind of been lacking, giving up 72 points to the Bruins.
And Henry will give them some much-needed experience as a sixth-year senior. And Booker fumbles the bounce pass from Brown. UCLA turns it over for just the 7th time. Jester in the game for UC Irvine. Dixon, 10 on the timer, into the lane. And that one impacted by Freeney, well short. Jester whips it. Dixon spots the triple. Long rebound. Jamar Brown has it. Sky Clark flips it inside. Booker didn't like the look there against McBurney Griffin. And Clark draws a reach-in foul. Against Jester, his second. So a chance for Sky Clark to get going here. Foul trouble in the first half. Dent on the bench here to start the second half. And Clark did a lot of ball handling late in the season last year as well.
Yeah, clearly this game is almost out of reach for the Anteaters, but this is just good practice for both of these teams just to figure out what lineups work, what lineups don't, and how they can continue to play together and play effectively.
Third time the charm there for UCLA. That trip down the floor. Booker able to cash it in with the second chance points. He's in double figures with 11. And the block for Brandon Williams. Doesn't see the pass coming to him. It's off his heel and out of bounds.
It's an unfortunate play there for the Bruins, but way to get out on the fast break, way to hustle, and more often than not, you're going to be able to score or get a good drive off of that. So right idea, just wrong execution.
The UCLA team that has gotten more athletic this season. Dixon left open. Tapped out to him. Working against Freeney. Help from Booker. Tough take off the window and a rebound for Brown. Clark turns on the accelerator. Just missed it high off the glass. Battle for the loose ball. Carrington up to Jester. Didn't have his hands ready to collect it. Freeney steps in front. I don't think Jester realized Freeney was right behind him.
It's just great to see the action in a preseason game for both of these teams. Both teams are diving on the floor for these balls. They're playing hard. You love to see that. You love to see these teams getting work in so early in the year.
It's already a third turnover in the second half, though, for UCLA. Booker checks out. Jamerson back in. 74-33, the UCLA lead. Saran just checked in and will head to the free throw line. We mentioned earlier the old adage that basketball is a game of runs. UCLA's season last year really spelled out in runs. They started the season 11-2. Then they hit a stretch of 4 consecutive losses in January before they then went on a 7-game winning streak and actually closed the regular season winning 11 of their last 14 games.
Basketball, of course, a game of runs, but you really don't want to see that run for UCLA. I don't think Mick Cronin wants to see their team struggle and play inconsistent, because although basketball is that game of runs, it's always about consistency, and that's what's gonna, that's the same for anybody, any team. So if you're able to be consistent, that's what's truly gonna get you to the promised land in March.
There's a number of games back-to-back out of the Pacific time zone as part of that 4-game losing streak. Williams nowhere to go there, but gets the ball back. Trent Perry playing with 4 fouls. Off the mark from deep. Brown the offensive rebound. He is just flying everywhere. Now Williams bouncing around. And Chester has that long rebound, looking to push. Bounce pass, Saran, left it short. We've seen so many times tonight, it looks like UC Irvine has a solid look at the rim, but UCLA crashing defensively, and Brown with the triple at the other end.
Yeah, it's Mark Brown, all the centers, Xavier Booker, Jamerson, everybody's just crashing the glass. And I think they really took Mick Cronin's words to heart after last game against San Diego State.
Goldman could not will that shot up and in. It's another miss at the rim for UC Irvine. Jamerson high to the corner, but Brown climbs the ladder to get it. Jamerson pounding inside. And free throws upcoming as he went right into the chest of Emenike. UCLA trying to limit their travel this year, going back to that point about how those 4 losses came largely playing in the Midwest. They are not going to play out of the Pacific time zone until January 3rd. First 14 games will be on the West Coast.
Of course, it is inevitable being in the Big Ten that you are going to go out to the East Coast. But if you can try to make sure your team is solid together, playing sound basketball before that, then it kind of offsets what's going to happen to you when you travel to the East Coast.
They will have some good tests, though, in the early season. Lane violation, wipes away the free throw. So just the 1 point there for Jamerson. He is in the scoring column. At UCLA in their 4th game, going to take on Arizona, who's ranked number 13 to start the season. The game against Gonzaga in Seattle on the docket as well. Arizona State will come in here. And of course, you got early Big Ten Conference games the first week of December against Washington and Oregon.
All of those teams are extremely good and have extremely quality players. So it's going to be really a test for this Bruins team.
3-on-1, Freeney sets his feet. Perry with another offensive rebound for UCLA. Brown, corner pocket, and air ball. Goldman the rebound. UCLA not shooting as efficiently in the second half. Goldman with rhythm, swish. Bryce Goldman, freshman out of Tarzana, with his first points tonight.
Attended Chaminade College, so knows how to play high-level basketball.
His father went to UC Irvine. And Bryce actually remembers going to UC Irvine games as a kid during Russ Turner's first season. Bilodeau wants it in the post, getting his first action in earnest here in the second half. And off the heel, Chester rises up, out of bounds. UCLA will keep it.
UC Irvine trying to get a little bit of life in this game, and although the lead is large, guys like Goldman can help them at least practice, like we see here with that Goldman 3. It should be good practice for the Anteaters.
not a ton of all-time history between these two teams. UCLA has won 9 of the previous 11. Last UC Irvine win came during the holiday season of 1988, a 1-point win for the Anteaters. And on that team was a current UCLA assistant coach, Rod Palmer, who began his playing career at UCLA, then transferred to UC Irvine. He was with the Anteaters when they got that big win against the Bruins in '88.
His son, Josh Palmer, is currently on the UC Irvine team right now. So it's great to see all this connection between UCLA and the Josh and the Palmer family. It's just so good to see.
And you got to look there at Joshua Palmer, true freshman with UC Irvine. Hopefully we get a chance to see him before this game is through. Trent Perry rounds it out. And the rebound for Saran. Jester, count it plus the foul. Jovan Jester, he's been aggressive here in this second half. The determined Jovan Jester, a chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, we take a look here, Jester driving. Similar to what Donovan Dent does on the other end. Just putting her head down, taking it right to the defender, and getting the and one.
And Freddie with the rebound. By the way, basketball in the Palmer family extends beyond Joshua or Rod. Actually, Rod's sister, Violet, was the first female official in the NBA.
Wow.
And Rod has now been an assistant under Mick Cronin for his entire tenure here at UCLA. Eric Freeney. Jamerson, another offensive rebound. UCLA with a dozen of those. Brown's first miss from the outside. And this will go to UC Irvine.
We can talk about the rebounding discrepancy here. UCLA, 42 rebounds to Irvine's 20. That is an insane differential, and that is something Mick Cronin has been wanting his team to do better, and clearly they've executed that well tonight.
Akiva McBurney Griffin got Bilodeau off his footing there. Trent Perry from way outside. Bilodeau couldn't paddle it in. Or excuse me, that was Brown. Perry a little slow to get up, making his way down the floor. For right now, it's 5-on-4. Jester to the corner for Saran. Offensive rebound, Evans, and he's fouled. Looked like Jamerson got him across the arm. That'll be his fourth. UCLA will have 5 of its first 6 games at home. And the 6th, they'll just have to go down the street to Intuit Dome for that game against Arizona. UC Irvine, they will also have 5 of their first 6 games at home, beginning on Monday against a non-D1 school in Bethesda. One more for Evans. And he splits the trip. Evans expected to have a big role this year for UC Irvine with the departures of Bent Leuchten and Devin Tillis. An exceptional defensive front court with those two last season for UCI. Sky Clark weaving, wide open, Brandon Williams. Offensive rebound and a putback for Jamar Brown. He has been all over the glass.
He's been doing that all night on the glass, hitting shots. He really is a complete player for Mick Cronin.
He's now in double figures, 11 points to go along with 10 rebounds. A double-double for Brown. Saran, the only player in double figures for UC Irvine, lost the handle there, but then given right back by Clark, and Saran leans it in off the window. Perry tracked by Jester. 35 the lead for the Bruins. Clark steps in. And Trent Perry towing the baseline with another offensive rebound. Bruins, though, just 2 for 11 from the outside, and contact with the rim by UC Irvine. Count the bucket for Jamar Brown.
It's really this differential on the glass is what is carrying this UCLA team right now. They're just getting so many more possessions than the Anteaters are. As you see here, the drive, and he touched the rim right before it got there. So of course that's going to be a violation.
Tough break for Evans. That shot was going to be short. Inside 8 minutes to go. The floater is there for Darren Saran. He's up to 15 points after he had 27 in their exhibition opener against Arizona State.
Whether or not UCLA has taken their foot off the gas a little bit, or Irvine's been playing better, it's good to see that Irvine's taking that next step and trying to improve on what went wrong early in the game.
Sky Clark finds the bottom of the bucket from distance. UCLA just 25% for the on the arc in the second half. Sky Clark now up to 13. Dixon, deep three. Jurian Dixon now up to 9 points, but he has had a tough night shooting the basketball, just 3 of 15.
He's been struggling, but they're going to need him later in the year, so he has to keep his confidence up and make sure he can continue firing it, because if you don't, your confidence is just going to go down and down.
Perry lost it, and he's on the baseline.
We'll take a look at Irvine getting their hands in and just able to get extra possessions that UCLA's really been doing all night. But as you can see, Dixon drilling that three to help Irvine.
Despite having to replace their top 4 scorers from a year ago, UC Irvine picked to win the Big West this season ahead of UC Santa Barbara, Hawaii, and the defending conference tournament champs in UC San Diego. They have finished first or second in 11 of 15 seasons under Russ Turner. Having to replace some pieces in the front court, but they like what they've got in the backcourt. And among those on the preseason All-Big West team, couple of guards, Jurian Dixon, starting to find his rhythm here in the second half. And Andre Henry, who is beginning the year still recovering from an injury he suffered in the first month of last season. Hope to have him back in due time.
Andre Henry is just an exceptional defensive player. They're going to need him later in the year. When games get close, when games get physical, he's going to be able to be that guy that can guard their best player on the floor every night.
He's a lockdown defender, the Big West Defensive Player of the Year a couple of seasons ago. Out of St. Francis High School up in La Cañada. Chol gets it to bounce in off the window. Elijah Chol with 7 points. UCLA has led by as many as 43 tonight. Xavier Booker knocks down his second three.
The confidence for Booker is huge, and if he can continue to shoot like that from the outside, it's going to give defenses a lot to worry about when he's on the floor.
Stumbling through the lane, Egbo foul. Eric Freeney hit with the foul. That is his third. Egbo, redshirt sophomore out of Gilbert, Arizona, is now in the scoring column. Egbo played in 33 games last year as a redshirt freshman. 2-for-2 trip there. UC Irvine has gotten themselves to the foul line in this one. Now 23 attempts for the game.
That's very much a positive for this Irvine team, continuing to get to the basket and driving and getting to the line.
And Booker has had a couple go off his hands. And from behind, Brown fouls Dixon. Well, it has not been as crisp a second half for UCLA. We have not seen Donovan Dent since halftime. And perhaps the goal was have him go the whole first half. Got to see how he handled it conditioning-wise, and it looks like he is going to be stapled to that bench for the rest of this one. Meanwhile, Dixon trying to get himself in double figures. I got a wet spot on the court as there's David Singleton, who, of course, had some great moments with UCLA as a player, now joining Mick Cronin's staff as an assistant this year.
He was a part of those Bruins teams that I watched growing up, and it's just great to see him on the staff again. He was so fun to watch. Just a great three-point shooter for Cronin, and glad to see that he's back with the Bruins.
Consummate team player. Had a stint in the G League as well. And for how much he loves UCLA, not a surprise to see himself back on campus. Dixon goes 2-for-2 at the line. Trent Perry's been playing with 4 fouls for a while, keeping himself out there. Another missed 3, though. And this will go back to UC Irvine.
If there is one thing that UCLA has not done well tonight, is fouling. They have to continue to keep the fouls a little bit lower, and of course you see there the beloved Jack Seidler for UCLA, a fan favorite here behind us, as our student section here absolutely loves him.
Now walk-on got in 7 different games last season, a total of 14 minutes, including a couple of points. Brandon Williams the rebound off the miss from Tama Isaac. There's Seidler with it now. Perry trying another 3. Still can't find it. And the rebound for UC Irvine. Perry 0 for 3 from deep. Isaac probing to Luke Isaac. And the long rebound for Freeney. Freeney with a high dribble at the foul line. And the rebound for Evans. UCLA shooting about 37% in the second half. They were at 58% in the first half.
Yeah, despite that, I really like what I've seen out of the Bruins defensively, though.
They held San Diego State rather to 60 points in the exhibition opener as Jamerson wipes it away. 6 on the timer for UC Irvine. Jamerson's wondering why Brandon Williams didn't go get the basketball.
And as we see here, UCLA just continuing to put on the pressure. As beautiful weak side block. Get that out of here. Jamerson, great defensive play.
UCLA women's soccer in the Big Ten tournament coming up on Saturday. The Bruins, the number 3 seed, ranked 18th in the country, going to take on the 6 seed Penn State. Quarterfinals will be held in West Lafayette, hosted by Purdue, 7:30 Eastern, Big Ten Plus, the Bruins and the Nittany Lions. Tyler Bilodeau had a phenomenal close to the first half. 19 points to lead the Bruins.
He's been doing everything for the Bruins. Scoring, playing hard defense, and that's what Coach Cronin loves to see out of one of his returners. Just a guy who's going to be able to do everything when he's on the floor. And he's truly been one of the bright spots for the Bruins tonight.
He scored the final 12 points of the first half for UCLA. And has been able to watch the rest of his teammates for the bulk of this second half. Band is back together here for this final exhibition tune-up in Pauley Pavilion. 5 to shoot here and a quick release. Luke Isaac for 3. Over the outstretched hand of Jack Seidler. And Luke Isaac, a freshman out of the Bay Area, gets his first points.
Seeing a little press here from the Anteaters. Maybe just trying to speed up this game a little bit. Try to see if they can make UCLA commit some unwanted turnovers.
Brandon Williams off the screen. A little handoff there from Jamerson. And Brandon Williams has had a nice game off the bench. Meanwhile, the turnover at the other end, and Freeney nearly lost the basketball. Double teamed along the sideline and throws it away. Emenike came in to help out. And Jamerson wipes away the lob attempt.
Jamerson again, just putting the pressure defensively on. It's been really great to see what the backup center can do. And as we take another look here, look at him hustle down the court, sees the lob attempt. He says, oh, no, 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 that is me. I got that. Just a fantastic play from Jamerson.
Between Jamerson and Booker, so much more rim protection and athleticism that UCLA has at the 5 position this year. In our first look at Markel Alston, a freshman and a former high school teammate of Brandon Williams from Queens, New York. He's wearing 10 in white. Meanwhile, more free throws coming for UC Irvine. Both Alston and Brandon Williams playing at Christ the King. And now Ness Emenike to the foul line. Born and raised in Cameroon, came stateside for high school, went to Archbishop Reardon in San Francisco. And UCLA further emptying the bench with Anthony Peoples Jr. checking in.
Emenike, he was actually the San Francisco Student Athlete of the Year in 2025. An awesome accolade, which you don't really think of as much for a high school student.
Emenike moved to the U.S. at the age of 15, and now a true freshman with UC Irvine. And he goes 0 for 2. Student section happy. They get free fries.
I was just about to say the students will be very happy they get fries here after missing that.
So UCLA able to empty the bench a bit here for the closing minutes. Trent Perry back out for Williams. Now to Alston, 7 on the timer. Tried to dump it off for Peoples Jr., but too much traffic there. Turned over to UC Irvine. By the way, Anthony Peoples Jr., the big man, he's the 3rd player now in this program to have played at Corona Centennial, along with Donovan Dent and Eric Freeney. Peoples Jr., the eldest of the 3. He's a redshirt senior now. Isaac well off from distance, but a loose ball foul against UCLA. That is Alston picking up the foul, and there's Peoples Jr. There was one season where they all played together at Corona Centennial. Peoples 1 year older than Dent and 3 years older than Freeney.
Must have been an exciting high school basketball season.
Corona Centennial, always one of the best here in Southern California. So Dent would have been a junior on that team. Peoples a senior, and then Freeney a freshman. .207 to go. So Alston running the point. And a foul going against Jester. It's only the 15th foul against UC Irvine. By the way, UCLA getting another walk-on onto the floor. Christian Ori, wearing number 7. Of course, the son of Big Shot Bob, Robert Ori. Freeney, swish on the deep 2. Step back 3, and a swish. Joshua Palmer just checked in moments ago, and with his father coaching on the other side for UCLA, splashes home the 3.
That was a tough shot from Palmer, and you take a look at his dad over there. He's smiling on the bench after he hit that shot. So proud of his son.
Seidler got Palmer leaning the wrong way, follows up his own miss, and can't get the foul call. Palmer looking for another 3. Alston, look at him rise up for the rebound. Final minute here at Pauley. Freeney. Alston blocked. Jester right there. And too far ahead for Palmer. And there's Christian Ori ahead to Seidler. Swish. Jack Seidler knocks it down.
Everybody erupts as Jack Seidler scores his first points of the game. Everybody's so happy for this guy.
94 points for UCLA tonight. Emenike too strong. And it's UCLA basketball. And UCLA can just dribble it out here.
Here's Seidler. Little move, a little fadeaway. That was a nasty move from Jackson, and look at the crowd. So excited for the guy. So fun to see.
Exhibition or not, always love the walk-ons getting in on the action. UCLA emphatic from start to finish tonight. They lead by as many as 43 points. They win by 30 and take this final tune-up over UC Irvine at 94-64. Bruins had that blitz at the end of the first half and able to ride that wave throughout the second.
They did a good job of staying within their game, doing what they needed to do, to rebounding, scoring efficiently. That's just what you're going to get from this Bruins team if they continue to play like this throughout the season.
5 players in double figures for UCLA tonight as you see what is on tap. The season opener coming up on Monday against Eastern Washington. 3 home games to start, including November 10th against West Georgia. We will have that here on Big Ten Plus. But circle that matchup November 14th. Intuit Dome against number 13 Arizona. Going to be a ton of fun.
Gonzaga came to Intuit Dome last year, and that game was electric. So it should be another great one for the Bruins in Inglewood.
Donovan Dent helping to lead the way tonight for UCLA. 16 points, 8 assists, all in the first half. And with Halloween on the horizon, nothing spooky tonight in Pauley Pavilion. It's all Bruins from start to finish. For producer Steve Chen, director Josh Rose, Gio Camara, and our entire Big Ten Plus crew, Nick Cope saying so long from LA. UCLA over UC Irvine, 94-64.